We're back again on Lutherans Alive with Ryan Anderson and his mom, Kerry. Thanks again, Kerry, for being here with
You're
us
welcome.
today and helping us to understand a little bit about the development of a new Christian education ministry at St. John's on Perry Avenue in Perrysville. We were talking before the break about resources and planning and that sort of thing. For someone in a congregation who saw the same kind of a need, young parents,
Right.
little children appearing and being baptized in the church and that sort of thing, would you have any recommendations or advice for people about maybe how to go about pulling something like this together in their congregation?
I think it was fairly easy. I think a good way was to start with the luncheon of all the parents and to give
Mm.
them an idea. But I think definitely have a person who would be a dedicated teacher and somebody who isn't afraid to go out and try different things. So I think for next year, I would like to maybe incorporate some musical instruments into it, like maybe
Mm.
small bells for the children. Some of the things we use in kinder music are scarves. The kids really seem to like that.
Mm.
Some more props type things. This year, it was just kind of like I've been going kind of month to month here, planning right now. But those are some of my ideas maybe for next year. Um,
I think some general principles like that make a lot of sense as
mhm.
kind of a way to get things organized and to start get things going. But it certainly does make sense as well to kind of feel out the group.
Right.
With every small group, there are going to be probably some different dynamics
Right.
about direction and what feels right.
Right. And I don't
In
think the church would have to spend a ton of money either to add this curriculum to their congregation. So I think it would be
just need some space.
yes, some space and willing participants.
Hmm. Well, I think one of the things that seems to be true is when folks become young parents, they really are focused on their children
Yeah.
and they're interested in having them get off to a good start.
Yes.
So to kind of get into that habit and into that pattern
Hmm.
early shouldn't be too difficult, particularly if people have some background or history with the church before.
Right.
That was one of the things that you mentioned, that life in the church was part of your
Hmm.
history and of your memory, and so it seemed like the right thing to do and the natural thing to
Yes.
follow up on.
Yes.
Um, I'm wondering, you're obviously the leader at this point. In your family, how does Dad relate? How does Dad fit in some cases, I suppose one parent might tend to take the initiative or seem to be
Right.
more involved. Is there any attention given to trying to have both parents be involved, or is it still a little early for that?
Well, my husband, he didn't have the same kind of background as I had growing up. He didn't really have a steady church that he went to or anything, and in fact, he wasn't baptized until he came to our congregation.
Oh, okay.
So for him, this has actually been kind of a learning experience for him too, and I
Hmm.
think this is one way that he actually feels comfortable participating. He felt a little intimidated. We've talked about going to some of the adult classes before Ryan was born. So he felt a little intimidated, I think, to go to those classes and be a part of the discussion. And this is more of a way where he's learning, some of the traditions of the Lutheran Church and some of the Bible stories even he wasn't familiar with. So I think this is a great way for him to feel comfortable and fit in
Hmm.
and meet people at our church too. So, and as far as the other couples, a lot of the other parents, there's only one other couple that brings their husband. It's mainly the women that have been coming.
Hmm.
But some of the other husbands are going to the adult class. So, and then the mothers will come with the younger child here.
Hmm.
So,
And that sounds like a kind of a natural way to
hmm
lead into things that for folks who haven't had a strong or a long association with the church, that it can be a way kind of to ease
right.
into things. And the focus is more on, or at least partly on, the little guy or
Yes.
girl in the family. And you can kind of ease your way in
hmm
as you feel comfortable doing that. At this point, as you mentioned, music has been a part of your background and training, and you're looking at ways to introduce that. How about art? Is art something that also is a...
There's another mother in the class who's very good at being artistic and things like that. And right now we're trying to find ways to include art into the course. We haven't yet, just because we're going back and forth on finger painting. Do we bring in finger painting? It's kind of a challenge with being the kids, being all different age levels. So we haven't done anything artistic yet, but I am looking for ideas and ways to include art as well.
Mm-hmm.
So
it just seems like with this age and the development of children, there are probably a lot of different opportunities that will come up as you get a little more familiar and a little more comfortable with the range of things that you're doing. Mm-hmm. Does the pastor get involved at all? You mentioned that he had an idea about getting things started. I know Sundays can be pretty busy for the pastors in other ways as well, but just curious if he has managed to pop in or be a visible presence.
He pops in every now and then to check up on us, but he's kind of just let me go with the flow on this. So,
sure. Very good. At this point, have there been any disappointments or frustrations, or have things really been going very smoothly?
I think sometimes on my part, when we first started, I would think that the activities would go one direction, and then it seemed like they go really quickly, and we had all this time. So I've gotten better at the timing and things like that, and getting the parents to participate has also been a little bit of a struggle, I think, just because they're in their church clothes, and it's all about getting down on the floor and playing with the children. Mm. And sometimes they're a little bit hesitant to do that. So now that we're kind of into the class, though, the parents know what to expect, and they've been getting down on the floor, and it's been going a lot better. So
very good. We often hear with teachers talking about introducing material to their children or to their students, and teachers will often say, I find that I learn as much, if not more, than the students in the class. What kinds of things would you say you've learned getting involved in this kind of an educational setting for the first time?
Well, for me, I have been teaching middle school kids for the last 9 years. So it was definitely a learning curve with the younger children, learning about their attention spans, what was going to go with them, and it just even approaching them and coming across, having to be very over dramatic, I think, with the children. So.
Well, I'm sure having one of your own, you're learning that very naturally every day as you go through the parenting process with Ryan. And he certainly does seem to be a very well-adjusted and very comfortable, confident young guy. I thank you, Ryan, for letting me hold you this morning. And it feels great to have a new buddy. Thanks for coming in and being with us. Thank you, Kerry, very much for sharing this new education ministry at St. John's. We wish you many blessings and a lot of success with your ongoing endeavors there.
Well, thank you. And if anybody is interested in starting a class, they can definitely feel free to contact me at St. John's.
Great. We'll get your phone number and contact information so we can share that on the program. Thanks very much.
You're welcome.
And thank you for being with us today on Lutherans Alive. We hope you've enjoyed meeting Ryan and Kerry and learning a little bit about parenting and young children's education ministry in the church. Until next time, this is Lutherans Alive. Good day, and God bless you.